Matthew 11, 28, 29, 28, 29. You ready? Matthew 11, 28, 29. What's it say? Come to me, all you who are tired from carrying heavy loads. Keep reading. Stop. Take my yoke and do what? And put it on you and do what? Learn from me or learn of me. Discipleship is about us meeting his expectation, which means a part of discipleship then is my commitment is to be three things. Well, two things. The first thing, obviously, is my commitment is to be a student. But Juliana, that student evolves into being a learner. And that learner evolves into being a practitioner. Or someone who actually fulfills that which they're learning, who lives it out. So a part of the measurement of whether this study will have any impact on your life is that every time you are introduced to some principle, you will immediately attempt to employ that principle. Because what good is sitting in here tonight if you ain't going to do nothing you learn? Waste of time. Stay home. You're wasting your time. I'd rather you just stay home. Seriously. Because we got to get to the point where we become students. Learn of me. Which means, watch this, and I need to say this stuff quickly. When you are learning of him, you have to be admitting you don't know. So how okay, 7:30, not 7:30 to get this illustration. But how many of you caught the illustration I did at 9:30 about offense and humility? Yeah. That's true. That if you don't come to the Word of God open to learn, which means, and that takes us, Angelica, all the way back, Michelle, to last year when we spent the first part of last year going through Proverbs and we dealt with correction almost every week. If you can't handle being corrected, discipleship is going to become a hated process for you. Because you do not have an ego when he's trying to save you. If you drowning, don't fight the one that's coming in the water to get you. All right? So you strive to meet expectations. But here's the other thing. You forsake everything else. This has to do with setting priorities. This literally means that when you commit to become a disciple, you set priorities. Where does the priority begin? It begins with Jesus Christ. Let's go to Luke chapter 14. Beginning at verse 25. Luke 14, beginning at verse 25. Brother Striblin, listen to what it says. You ready? You have it? Luke 14, 25. Catherine, here's what it says. Let's read. What does it say? Once when large crowds of people were going along with Jesus, what happened? Keep reading. Keep reading. Here's the revelation tonight, Deaconess Gwen. Here's the revelation. And I need to say this to every person in the room who's believing God to give you somebody. Because I need to kill something. Here it is. One of the dangerous things you can do is think that you come to Jesus to get somebody. One of the most dangerous things you can do is to come to Jesus to get something. Because the moment that you think that your relationship with Jesus gives you a blank check to get what you want in your immaturity, you will get what you've been wanting only to discover you didn't know what the future was connected to it. The mature disciple places as priority Jesus Christ and then trusts him to direct their steps. So even what they pray for is consistent with their maturity and not with their dysfunction. Are y'all here? The mature disciple does not manipulate God. That's why I hate that phrase, when praises go up, blessings come down. I hate it. And you want to know why I hate it? Because we really don't say it the way it ought to be said. We really say it as manipulation. We think that God needs a praise to bless us. God needs obedience to bless you. When you obey God, he will bless you, but you can shout, dance, and run around, and God say, and that was for who? All right? That there's this sense then that when you become a disciple, you have to forsake everything. As much as I love my wife, and this is a principle, as much as I love my wife, there will be things that the Spirit of the Lord may say to her that I may not agree with in my flesh. And what some of you got to be careful of is letting people who are temporary control you based upon a natural relationship. That's why you need to make sure when you connect to people, they match your spiritual passion. So they know how to back up and let God be God without being insecure. Pastor Guns, you don't need nobody that needs to run you when he's trying to lead you. Y'all need to start checking spiritual credentials, because they may not be qualified based upon their prayer life. I'm just saying. All right, let's move quickly. Let's move quickly. Watch this. Now, I'm taking you somewhere because the thing I want you to grasp is this. When you start to operate in discipleship, two things are going to happen. This relationship called discipleship is going to begin to create you. Watch this. You're going to start disciplining your lifestyle. You're going to start disciplining your lifestyle. This is huge. Your lifestyle is going to start to be disciplined. Okay? Y'all see this room? You know, I jokingly told some folk that this is the slaying region. This is the slaying area. So if you step up here, you going down. Just don't even play with this. If you step up here, I'm laying hands and you out. Right? Now, watch this. There's this room filled with carpet, but this is the only carpet of this color. When you start to operate as a disciple, everything may be possible, but everything ain't expedient. A disciple starts living discipline, which means you start cutting. Listen, you start requiring yourself to live holy. Romans 12:1 says, present your bodies a what? Holy, and which is the service of worship God honors. You got to start, listen, y'all got to stop being comfortable with stuff that you can't justify according to God's standard. Discipleship is more than quoting Bible. It's about aligning your life with the Word of God. and learning to discipline yourself. So here's what's amazing about God. Some of the stuff you're going through is actually God testing your character for the sake of a greater dimension of promotion. You think it's the devil trying you. It may be God exposing you.